All right, well, I'm back. I was out for a while. I went to New York. I got back, and I feel great. I feel amazing. That's all that matters. And right now, I want to cover a part 3 to the urine therapy because there's still some topics that I want to cover before I move on to something else. And one of the questions that I asked, and it led me to a forum, of course. One of the questions I asked is if urine is waste and so is feces, because this is what people categorize urine as. Urine is waste, right? So if urine is waste and so is feces, why do we have both with a separate system for each? Why don't the waste products that are in urine just get filtered into the intestines instead? Basically just having one passage, right? Now, I got led to an answer over here on this forum, which one individual answered, and I want to read this out to you. These are two different products, okay? Feces is what's left after bacteria have reduced the food you have eaten and what you have not absorbed through the gut. Shit is not technically in your body. It is housed in your body and flows through your body, but it is waste, okay? Now, urine is the constant filtrate from a clean product, the blood that is within you. Urine is almost the same color as the plasma of your blood. The kidneys filter and extract products tagged by the liver and its own elements to balance and restore the blood to correct pH and osmolality. Okay? Now, short answer is shit is exogenous product outside the body made from food, while urine is endogenous product made from the blood. All right. Now, this is very interesting. See, when it says it's actually a constant filtrate. Now, you notice that if any of you have done urine therapy, you'll notice that when you loop your urine, it tends to come out clearer and clearer and clearer. Eventually, it just looks like water, and it basically even tastes like water after a while. You won't even taste the urine anymore, you know? Now, you ever do meditations to try to clear your body to some extent? And you can actually pay attention to how you feel afterwards. You ever just breathe in like a golden light, and golden, kind of like the same color as your blood plasma, or, you know, your beautiful color of your urine. But you are always breathing this golden light in. And then when you breathe this golden light in, you let it shower within your body. You hold it within you. And then you just expel that breath. But you want to expel it. And it's no longer a... because you took in the golden color, but the golden color is clearing you. So when you breathe out like the cloud, dark, nasty, muggy cloud that you're basically expelling from your body, right? Now you continue this process on. Now you breathe that golden light in within you, and with your imagination, you just let it shower your body. And then you breathe out more of that black smoke that's in your body, as far as in the form of waste, okay? That doesn't belong in there. And you'll notice that after that, then you start to see that you'll do it until you are content with the fact that what you're breathing out is no longer black. It is actually more on the clear side. So you're basically convinced and content with the fact that you did a certain level of meditation and, you know, guided yourself to basically expel waste from your body consciously with intent through a practice called meditation, right? And you feel better. You actually feel lighter, and you feel... And we could call this anecdotal claims. We could call it placebo effect, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? This is how the pharmaceutical industry is run on. Do you think these medicines are actually doing anything for you? They are actually ran by people believing that they actually work, and it's all a placebo. You get what I'm saying? There's something called a placebo-nocebo effect. You can heal yourself with your mind, or you can kill yourself with your mind. You know, it's up to you, whatever you want to do with this powerful tool. Now, it's the same thing, I feel like, when you're taking this urine, okay? You're basically now, you see, a lot of the times I've heard these accounts, and I've actually had this experience as well, that when I am eating very, very clean, I notice that, you know, according to Dr. Robert Morse, which I am a student of Dr. Robert Morse, and I respect his work, and, you know, I'm taking his courses because I believe in his courses. However, I question everything just like I question anything else, you know. But there's been accounts, and this has happened to me, where I'm eating pure fruits, but I'm not filtering anymore. You know what I'm saying? My urine is coming out without the little sediments that he speaks on that we call waste, okay? But we're supposed to be seeing these sediments as we're eating foods that are helping us detox. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, a couple of things that actually have pretty much dawned on me, you know. Now, as I said in my previous videos, I do believe that before you introduce this urine into your system, you want to make sure you're not eating meat. You're not eating products that are going to make, first of all, it's going to make your urine taste terrible. And two, you're really introducing a certain type of nitrogenous waste, or let's say ammonias and alcohols that really aren't pleasant for you to reintroduce to your body, right? However, you'll notice that even when you're eating those junk foods, supposedly this is where you stop filtering, because you're stagnating your system to the point where your kidneys are no longer filtering, right? But however, when you're eating certain foods and you're still not seeing sediment, I feel like this is my opinion. I'm not making medical claims, and I'm not telling you what to do so that my video doesn't get banned or anything like that, okay? But this is where I feel that it is the best time to introduce now the urine into your system, okay? Because this is how you're able to tell that you're actually going to start now kickstarting the kidneys. You go. Now, the reason I say this is because let's say if there was a certain type of waste in your urine when you let it out and you reintroduced it in, who is to say that that waste is going to do anything negative to you? How do you know that that waste is not actually going to come out the other side now in the form of feces for you to actually expel whatever waste you have in there now that's actually stagnant? Now, interesting I say this because now when I think of water, I think of life force water, I think of structured water, right? And I think of a certain chemistry that is in harmony with your body. However, the same way the rice experiment works, Dr. Emoto, you have this urine. A lot of people are drinking this urine, but they're drinking it again. Are you drinking it to be a better human, or is there a spiritual intent behind it? See, a lot of the times when you're drinking, you're like, and you're drinking it and you're making a face, you're actually having a certain emotion behind it of disgust to some extent in the back of your mind. You're not accepting it as an actual elixir like you would take a placebo pill for medicine. But at the end of the day, you structure this water with love, which is coming from you, right? Because let's say if you are feeling a certain way, this is how I look at this. When you drink alcohol, you're drinking spirits. And if you're in a certain state of being, you're amplifying that emotion. So let's say that's why people who are depressed and then they want to drink, they end up crying at the end. And then they end up getting all fucked up. When they break up with somebody, they may be stable, they may look stable, but they got a lot of hurt in there. Give them a little bit of alcohol, you'll start to see those tears come out. When you're happy, it'll amplify that happiness. That's why if I'm going to drink, I'm going to make sure I'm very happy, but I'm also celebrating at the end of the day. Nothing may be happening. I'm just celebrating life, my life. I'm celebrating life. Well, what are you celebrating today? Life. I'm happy. I'm joyous. I got a garden. The new leaves are coming out. Whatever it may be. You can celebrate whatever you want, right? So now it's the same thing, right? You got this golden elixir that you're about to intake. Okay, now, because we always look at things just from a physical, scientific chemistry and whatnot, but we never look at it from the spiritual side of things. Like, you're introducing that liquid back into you. What's your state of being? How are you? How do you feel? Right? Are you celebrating? Are you having an intent behind getting rid of certain things that don't belong in you as far as energetics go? It's gold. Right? Meditate with that gold color as well while you're drinking it. You're intaking a golden light. This is liquid light. Like I told you about the lemon, I made the video about, the lies about all diseases and the sun does not cause skin cancer, which I recommend you go check those videos out. They're very, very good. I talk about the lemon, the color of the lemon, which is yellow. You know, the first thing you're putting into your body, that's a very powerful detoxifier in and of itself. And it's also like you're introducing an actual sunlight into your body. And then you go outside and you're in harmony with the sun. You know what I'm saying? The sun does not cause skin cancer. The sun, I had a discussion with I'll make that in another video, but I had a discussion with a guy who's a doctor and his wife is there. She's saying that she's allergic to the sun. You know, and these things to me are mind-blowing. I'm going to make a separate video on that because I never even heard that. And I had to look it up, and it's an actual thing that people say they're allergic to the sun. Not knowing that it's basically happening within you. There's a reason why you're allergic to the sun. But I'll make a separate video on that. I'm going to stick to the topic of urine therapy. But when you're introducing this plasma ultrafiltrate, okay, and you're eventually looping it to the point where it gets clear, This should be an indicator. It's not that you have to live off the urine, but you should actually look at it the same way where you're doing a meditation. You intake that light and then you breathe out that black smoke until you're convinced that it's clear. You can actually physically see that your urine is clear, and you continue now to eat or follow certain protocols. There's liver and gallbladder flushes that you can actually do, depending on how serious you are about doing this, cleansing and tune up on your body, because it's basically just a tune up on your body. That's what it is. And if you're breathing properly, you're expelling a hell of a lot of waste to begin with. Just breathing properly, you're expelling waste from your lungs. You just make sure you're taking deep breaths, but that also depends on how much you're eating and what you're eating. Again, you want to take these deep diaphragmatic breaths. And if somebody asks me, I don't know how to diaphragmatic breathe. You want to know what the best way to breathe from your diaphragmatic breathing? Go shock yourself in cold ass water. Even if it's cold out. Matter of fact, if you're cold and it's cold outside and whatnot, and you get into a cold ass shower, you're going to start to do some diaphragmatic breathing for sure. You'll notice that you will barely even be able to let out a breath. You'll just be like, and you'll notice that you're doing diaphragmatic breathing, because you're going to feel certain muscles on the sides actually working out and getting tired, because believe it or not, you never move those muscles. That's how you know you never do diaphragmatic breathing. I actually put that to the test. Now, I do diaphragmatic breathing, but I notice there's a point where I get a little too comfortable. I'm not doing urine therapy. I take hot showers, I may be eating a little junk food and whatnot. And then I go back to doing these things just because I feel like I want to detox and just cleanse my system out. You kind of feel it, when you're feeling heavy, or you're feeling like you just know it's like your car. You drive your car, it feels a little rough, or your brakes may not be working, or you're starting to hear a squeak in your brakes, so you want to check to see if your brake pads are low. These are all little check engine light, right? So you can kind of feel, if you know your body, like, I need a little detox. I want to, and I'm going to prepare for it, because I'm going to be prepared for the fact that I may be tripping myself into an immune response, because that's the most powerful detox, is basically when you get a fever or some mucus and whatnot. So I prepare myself for that, not to get scared through these times that, there's a strain of some disease going around that's going to kill you. Nothing's going to kill you, man. Unless you believe it to kill you, then that's different. Now, here's the thing though. You do, okay, so how serious are you about doing this little tune up on your body? Hydration, very important. You can always tell when you're dehydrated. You could see your skin, you can feel it in your lips. Are they a little chapped? You could tell by your eyes. Sometimes they may feel a little bit dry or whatnot. You could always tell little telltale signs that show you, that you're dehydrated or whatnot, or you could always feel it. You feel a little stiff. You like to feel more malleable and flexible. Then that's when you're hydrating better. Like with a dog, you could always tell if a dog's dehydrated. You pull on their skin, and you'll notice that if it stays there a little too long and then it goes back, then you'll tell that they're dehydrated. But when you pull it out and it just goes back to normal, that's how you could tell that they're hydrated properly. So all these little things are, you could always tell with the human body. A lot of people know more about things outside of them than they do themselves. So, and believe it or not, talking about hydration on a cellular level, I made a video on the hydration part. I'm gonna link all these videos I'm talking about in this video in particular. But the hydration part, you think you're hydrating with like water that you buy in the supermarkets. You see, distilled water has a very good cleansing effect. It's actually slightly acidic for that reason, so it's gonna cleanse your system out a little bit deeper, but it is not structured life force water. It's no different than if I have a potted plant and I throw that gallon of distilled water in there, and most of it is just going to come out the bottom. Yeah, I watered it, there's moisture in the soil, but if I put it outside in 98-degree weather, it's going to dry out again anyway. So it depends. If your body's too acidic, then you'll dry out the same way. So, and plus, if you're drinking all that water, you'll notice that you're just peeing. There's no different than when you just have that water coming out the bottom of the hole of the plant. However, when you're drinking your urine, I also noticed this. I had more hydration. I felt like I was more hydrated, but I also felt such a soothing, calm sensation, particularly in my solar plexus, which is very interesting, because when I'm eating a certain way, I always feel a certain level of tension there. Especially when I'm meditating, I'll notice I got tension there and whatnot. But I noticed that when I'm doing the urine therapy, I feel like I almost forget I have a stomach. It's crazy. It's like the weirdest feeling in the world, but there's such a sense of calm. I've never felt such a calmness in my solar plexus. than while I was doing urine therapy. But I also did notice that it was cleansing me out, because the waste was coming out the backside, but it was coming out very, very strong as far as like smell and the color of the way it was coming out. That I knew that the urine was actually cleansing me from the inside, but whatever I was reintroducing was actually now coming out the back part. You get what I'm saying? But it was also cleansing out what didn't belong in there, you know? Now, when you're eating certain things such as like, you know, beans and whatnot, like these beans are very powerful to stimulate the kidneys. Protein is a stimulant. You know what I'm saying? Because when you eat meat, you get a high when you eat meat, but it's a certain type of protein. Now, when you eat a protein that's coming, like, let's say from beans, this is also a stimulant, but it's stimulating your kidneys. It's going to get that movement going again, you know? And yeah, it's hard to digest, but you got to sprout them. Now, let me show you something. I don't remember if I showed it to you here in this video or not, but I'm going to just make sure that I show it to you now. I typed in, how do beans give the soil nitrogen? Because I garden and I know this for a fact, but I wanted to look it up to see what the scientific term of this was. Now it says legumes, peas, vetches, clovers, beans, and others grow in a symbiotic relationship with soil-dwelling bacteria. The bacteria takes gaseous nitrogen from the air and in the soil and the bacteria takes gaseous nitrogen from the air in the soil and feed this nitrogen to the legumes. In exchange, the plant provides carbohydrate to the bacteria. So you see, wherever you're planting beans, it's giving off nutrients to the soil. Again, you are the soil. You know what I'm saying? But in order for this to happen, the bean has to sprout in the soil and become a plant, right? So basically, before you eat beans, you want to sprout these beans. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like everybody has stones in their organs, such as their liver and gallbladder, and their you know, these things are basically calcified stones that are basically sitting in those bile ducts of the liver or in the gallbladder, whatever it may be, you know, which doctors normally want to take out the gallbladder if there's stones in there, not knowing that we can actually cleanse and detox these things out. But whenever you see sediments, I feel like these are just basically results of, like, from that calcification that you see in the body. You get what I'm saying? See, when you have certain minerals that come out of your urine and you reintroduce it into your body, see, the minerals that are coming out, based on research I've done as far as urine, these are minerals the body didn't need at that moment in time, you know? But what happens when you reintroduce it to your body, though? You know what I'm saying? It kind of brought the idea of the egg. You know, the egg is basically a shell of calcium carbonate based, and inside you will see that there's the white part, which is a very mucousy type of substance, and then you got the fat in the middle, the yolk. But you'll see how they're separated in layers, you know, and they're just so perfectly separated, and it's whatever you have in the middle is totally different than what you have outside. You get what I'm saying? But the calcium carbonate based outside. Now, when you see the egg, it's pretty much liquidy in the middle, right? All water. When you're in your mom's womb, you're made of all water. But when you come out, you're a little bit more solid, yet you're still swimming in a lighter form of water now. And I say everything looks more solid than what you would consider liquid in your mom's womb, but it is actually a lot lighter out here, even though everything appears to be solid. Because you ever try to swim in water? You're not going to move as fast in water as you would on land, right? So that's why if you're in your mom's womb, you're all water, you're one with that water. You are basically here as you know, an individual. You're in solid form, but you're swimming in a lighter form of water here. And then let's say when you die, now all of a sudden you are basically one with that lightest form of what we would call water, I guess, right? Now, look at this. You have a butterfly, right? But before it's a butterfly, it's a caterpillar, more of a ground creature before it becomes an air creature, right? But we have birds. Birds don't pee and poop like we do. Birds actually pee and poop from the same hole at the same time, right? But why is this? In the interest of being able to save water and weight, right? So we have it different. But they're able to now, you know, they're evolved this way to be able to take flight. So they're an air creature. We're a ground creature. Then you got these water creatures, right? But we've evolved from being in our mom's womb as a water creature to being a ground creature to becoming now more of an air creature, you know, when we evolve or move on? Or do you stay in this position over and over and over again? Because we developed a mind, you know. But what is the mind? There is no, you know, here's the thing though. I feel like we use the mind to be able to navigate in this reality, right? More in the physicality side of things. But when it comes to the spirituality side of things, and that has to be in balance too. When it comes to the spirituality side of things, we say no mind, you know. But when you don't think, you actually leave your subconscious open. And a lot of people practicing this no mind, you know. And basically, I'm going to make another video on this, okay? Because you leave your subconscious open. And when your subconscious is open, I mean, what is it open to? But I'm going to make another video on this. This will be my next video. But when it comes down to urine therapy, do as you want. Do not, you know, listen to everything I say. Just basically take what you need, let go of it. Because a lot of people aren't for urine therapy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not telling you I practice this all the time. I was practicing it heavily last year. This year I haven't done any type of urine therapy. But however, these topics now are leading me toward wanting to do it again. Now with more awareness, because now that I'm studying this area of iridology, now I want to use myself as a guinea pig to experiment. I remember the experiences I had with it and the fucking pros of the urine therapy without even knowing as much as I know now. Now that I know a little bit more, I feel like I want to experiment with it now, you know? And yeah, I hope this covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover. If not, I will be making a part 4 because there's very interesting things about this topic. These things are unexplored. This is unexplored territory. So there's nobody, even if you've been doing detoxification for a certain amount of time, these are unexplored territories that require a lot of study still, you know? But yeah, I mean, I'm going to basically try to cover more stuff on this topic if there is more. If not, then I'm going to be talking about what I said I was going to speak about. And that's about it. Good to see you all again. Hopefully you guys feel the same about me. And we'll talk soon.